and police who are actively working to stop the bloodshed on the streets of the capital. The country's murder count now creeping near record-breaking levels as many residents fear the situation is worsening. Devontae Hanna has both sides tonight.
With the country's murder count on pace to surpass last year's total of 119 and in the face of a U.S. travel advisory, the National Security Minister Wayne Monroe and Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernando seemingly torn on what to call the recent influx of crime.
It is a crisis. Everything is a crisis.
We are not in a crisis, but we are concerned.
Both their comments coming yesterday just outside the National Honors Investiture, less than 3 days after the country's latest homicide occurred off of Blue Hill Road, bringing the total to 107 and 6 in 1 week. And despite not accomplishing his goal of keeping this year's homicide count under 100, Fernando claims that things are under control.
We are following significant leads in them. You would have seen some people of interest, some wanted posters that are out for various matters.
But Monroe is stating otherwise, calling the crisis an opportunity. His comments come in the wake of Prime Minister Philip Davis, who last week said the crime rate would have been higher had it not been for the measures put in place by the top court.
I hope that the public is looking and watching and understanding that we raise these people. I hope the people of my generation are looking and watching and seeing how quickly things have changed.
Both of them coming to an agreement that members of the public should do their part to aid officers in the crime fight.
We ask members of the public if they have any information on these individuals to please reach out to us. I believe that we could solve any matters. I always say that comes to our attention, but we want to be able to prevent these murders from happening.
According to reports, 53% of this year's homicide victims were on bail for murder. This only adds to the already rising crime across the board, especially armed robbery, according to police. Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
While members of the Kemp Road community speaking out against the frequency of violent
Good night. We are back. Let me know if you guys can hear us. You know, you all are our producers and our executive producers. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Yes, they are trying to stop us, but you know, this machine was ready for this road.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Yes.
They trying to stop us, but they can't block us.
No.
Right. So as we were tackling the NIB, what I want to say scheme, like a pyramid scheme. I don't know, Ponzi scheme. And
They got the one up Birdie made off.
yeah, they kick us, but we kick back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Mr. Bain, you were saying that the previous governments, they did the height of the century. They invested money in good stuff. You say in stuff.
Good stuff? Yeah, you know, we had some good Christian prime ministers over the years. And they invested, you know, for the benefit of the people. So they took our money and they spent it on whatever they wanted. They spent it on buildings. National security building. They spent it on what do you call it? Live. They spent it on Cable Bahamas. All kind of nonsense. If Cable Bahamas wanted to come here, they should come with money.
True. Yes.
And if they took our money to let us invest in that, then they should have made it so that we got money from it. Back to us. That didn't happen.
No.
You know, and this is the kind of robbery that the Bain people were suffering and didn't know all these years, but now we know. And so the question is, what we can do about it? Are we going to keep voting for them?
No.
While they benefit? We have politicians getting crown land and then selling it to NIB. You have NIB buying mansions. What do they spend our money on? And dilapidated mansions. Wow. This is disgraceful, and now they're talking about raising NIB. And I will tell you, when we exposed it, they couldn't raise NIB anymore. It caused it to be off the table.
Well, that's
Because they knew people were going to fight against it. So they had to find another Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme in order to raise it. So what they did is they realized, hold on, we don't have to raise it. All we have to do is raise minimum wage. And automatically, we get more money from NIB. And so what they did was they realized, hold on, we could probably get some new credit from this too if we raise it. Maybe they might beat us up so much. And that's what they did.
Another Trojan horse.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. That is crazy.
And only absolute punks will fall for this nonsense.
Well, see, they go forward with the Bain and speak up. They're not gonna go and protest about it.
Yes.
They're not gonna stand up for it, so it's gonna happen. Because the people are not educated. I feel like if we keep on producing more programs like this where we get we educate people, like they won't be falling for these same old tricks anymore. Because you know, the more knowledge you have, the more power you have. And that's why we need our people to get involved in what's going on in their country. So they won't be taken advantage of.
And the generation has changed. So that's another thing again, the generation has changed. So, and because the generation has changed, they are asking for more. They're literally standing up even for more, even though, like you said, more education. Even in more education, but people are tired. Literally, they're tired. And when you reach to that tired limit, then they're going to show them. Because at the end of the day, it's impossible for you to have a speech like what the minister did, excuse me, the prime minister did on last night, and expect for persons to just say, oh, he so care about us. I thought it was an insult because most of what was said really wasn't for us. It had no depth for us. It had no care for us. It was basically them getting themselves together when they get thrown out. It really wasn't for us.
So I normally guess, right? But y'all, please tell me one by one. What do y'all think about the Prime Minister's speech last night? Did it make you feel inspired? Because you know, back in the day when Finland spoke, you leave from there and you want to go. You feel like you could lift the world.
Yeah.
You know, did it make you feel inspired? Did it make you feel like like you're proud to be a Bahamian? How did it make you feel?
It definitely was an inspiring speech. Well, it definitely was an Finland speech. Let me just put it like that. You can tell that it's being recited. Somebody wrote it. He didn't speak with passion. He didn't speak from the heart. It was like no emotion was there when he was saying that. And I mean, I felt insulted as well because here it is now. You want to talk about cryptocurrencies when a lot of Bahamian people don't even understand the market. And I feel that this is an opportunity for the government to take advantage and try to educate the people of the cryptocurrency market, but they want to take it away. They want you to participate in it as a consumer, but not as an investor.
True.
You know?
That ain't the bad part about it, cryptocurrency. The bad part is Bahamians cannot participate in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Trade now. But I need to correct you because he did speak to people. He said, I see you in your house. One day she went outside, she didn't see the but people come
Trying to read Mr. Bain.
wrong was a wrong window, sir. So Mr. Bean, we downgraded us, right? And there seems to be like crickets about that. Like nobody is talking about it to make it seem like that's a problem. Why is that?
Well, we know that the media is sold out. Brave David is basically bought out the media. So anything that's going to make him look bad is not really going to make it to the media right now. All right? He's totally bought them up. And so they don't want to cross him right now. That's really what it is. Now, in terms of Moody's downgrade, that is devastating to us. That is devastating. And that should be what they're talking about more than anything else. Because Moody's is saying, one, all the stuff you're promising and saying that you all will do, y'all don't have the money or the credit or anything to do it.
Right.
Moody's, if you read the report, is saying that the government is flim-flamming.
Oh.
Moody's is saying that. And people are not paying attention to that. It's like you're just promising all this stuff. Okay, you promise $200 million on a hospital. Where the money coming from?
Thank you.
You promise another same hospital in the province. So that's maybe $400 million. Where the money coming from? You promise all this pie in the sky with agriculture. You're going to spend so much money in agriculture, and so basically you're gonna decrease us importing food by 30%. If we bring in $1 billion to $2 billion worth of food every year, so I'll leave it to $1 billion. What's 30% of $1 billion? $300 million. So what are they gonna possibly do to bring in $300 million worth of food every year? I don't know what kind of farm that could be. All right, I don't know when that's supposed to come about and how much money. Do you know how expensive it is to start a farm? So to do farming to cover that amount of income, so they spent $200 million, over $200 million on Bain. Bain producing maybe $63, $64 worth of fruits. A month. And I don't mean to be facetious, right? But the Haitians and Andres producing $300 million worth of food.
Wow.
All right, but Bain can't produce any food.
Thank you.
So back to the point, Moody's is saying that this government is flamming, and so they downgraded us. All right, so the downgrade is your present situation. And then they removed us from negative outlook, and that was mostly because of COVID, to a standard. But that's an outlook. There's no reality to that. That's just, okay, if things go okay and some stuff come together, you all could be, not standard, stable. You all could be in a stable condition. All right, and I know one thing. I don't want to be in stable condition because I mean I'm in the hospital.
True.
And I cannot get out right now. I on drip. I ain't there. But I barely alive. And so Moody is now telling us that we are in station, but we still hospitalized.
Wow.
All right? And that's just the outlook. So that Moody's thing is devastating because it means that wherever they're going to get this money from they're talking about, wherever they're going to get it from, they're going to have to pay high interest for it.
Ooh.
So with the high interest, is that the only way to get out of this, I want to say entanglement, or Moody put us in, or this downgrade that Moody put us in? Like, what's the, like, how do we bounce back from being downgraded?
Remember, Moody's is a credit agency for companies and governments. Right? There's more than one credit agency, but they are a credit agency. We participate with them voluntarily so that we can go on the global market and borrow. All right? So in the United States, they have credit agencies. We don't have it here in the Bahamas. So if you went and you bought some furniture and you didn't pay for it, your credit goes down.
Right.
Your actions cause it to go down. It is not anyone victimizing you. It's your stupid action.
Wow.
So it's the actions of our Bahamian governments over the time that put us in junk bond. It's no boogeyman victimizing the Bahamas. It is our actions. It is the fact that we don't do anything to produce or to grow our economy. Nothing. We just sit down and borrow and borrow and borrow. But we have a parasite economy in place. Let the investor come in, give us jobs, and you get taxes from the jobs they make. They get the taxes from us.
No.
So we pay the taxes. This is a parasite. Yes. And so this is where the problem comes in. And so this downgrade is devastating to us. There was a time when Jamaica was going through this, and they was going down, 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 then the dollar changed, and then the economy crashed.
I heard you say it's devastating to us. What does it mean for the economy that we've been downgraded? What does it mean?
It means that the government is having issues. All right? The economy is tied to government because the government makes taxes based on the economy. Okay? So if a hotel goes down, that's taxes that they would get, room tax and other taxes, money from salaries, etc., that they won't get. So that's where they're tied. So if the economy is bad, the government is in problems. All right? But turning around the economy can actually fix it.
Okay.
But the government has to put certain things in place to turn around the economy, which they're not doing.
Correct.
They are sitting down, waiting. Look at Grandmama. Like, I watched that speech last night, and it was like, these... What do the young people say? The male lazy down? Grand Bahama is suffering, stifled, and you're telling me that your hope for Grand Bahama to be restored is that someone is going to buy one hotel. Someone buying that one hotel is not going to change anything for Grand Bahama. That's not enough.
Right.
When the whole Grand Bahama was still hurting.
Right.
So it's like trying to make you hold on to the fact that, oh, someone can buy a hotel and we can celebrate. Celebrate what? One hotel? What are you really going to do for the economy of Grand Bahama? And everyone is sitting around waiting, oh, the airport is going to happen. He said by the end of the year. They haven't told who this person is who's going to, because they don't have anyone. By the end of the year, someone is going to develop the airport, and then they're going to invest, they're going to buy the hotel. But then you already have a big celebration saying the hotel was sold.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
And so just like Moody's is saying this government is a flim-flam government.
Yep.
How in the hell are you going to come a year after being in office? And now you're telling us what you are going to do, what you're going to do, what you're going to do?
It should be already being programmed.
Yes.
Yeah, all of these things have already been.
If you didn't start this stuff here, then you could start this.
Thank you.
They just want to drive everything
Every year.
until the next.
They just want to stall so they can
Yes.
continue to party and make flights and make trips.
Yes.
And by the time it's your catch on it and cut so much deal, make so much money, it's okay, go to South Cuba, be ready.
Yes.
They'll be popping champagne.
True.
Wow.
Come on, people, wake up, wake up. Let's wake up, Bahamians. Wake up. We have to stand up and do something. We have to put ourselves in the position where we can say to them, we will not accept these lies. Do not give us no more speeches that you had planned out. And I call it by a child, because at the end of the day, you all know what was going on. If you all don't know, and this is what agitates me, and I know that I said this before, but I realize that I'm talking to a government that I need to be repetitious with. You knew what was happening, okay? And you came with the same old, we're not stupid. We are not stupid. We are saying to you, enough is enough. We are saying to you, we will not accept these kindergarten, preschool, toddler, baby, child scratch, bringing it to the nation. You are embarrassing us. You are embarrassing us. You are embarrassing us because the world knows we are a rich country. The world knows this. So why would you keep making these dumb speeches that have no sound? They have no depth. They carry no weight. So in essence, at the end of the day, get out.
Number 804 4COI. 804 4COI. Boss, we have Mr. Bain here, you guys can call in and get some questions to him. He is a busy man, we always trying to do what's right by the people. So whilst he's You've given us for 15 minutes of your busy time, so. You know, you want to be chill and you want to call and get some
I just want to add one more thing to the Moody situation because I was asked, how can we get out of this? It's very simple. If your bills is more than your income, you have to increase your income. But we do nothing to increase our income.
Thank you.
Okay? And so we need to diversify and find alternative streams of income as a country.
Yeah.
Because if you have car loan, house loan, and a vacation loan you took the other day, and your bills are $1,000 a month, but you're only making $800 a month, you have a deficit. And every single year, the government has a deficit. Every year from I was a human being.
Sure.
That's the norm.
They have a deficit. So at some point, that was a pretty long time. That's a 30 years. 40? No? Okay.
35.
35. So at some point, one of our governments should have said, we have to find a way to increase our revenue without taxing the people.
Right.
Because when you increase taxes, you destroy the economy and you slow down the economy. Think about this. When you want to make the economy move, it's the same as when your business is doing bad. Let's say you have a clothing store, business bad. What are you going to do? You're going to have a sale. You reduce prices. So the government reduces taxes like they do in the States. They reduce interest rates, reduce taxes, the economy takes off. If they want to slow down the economy, they raise taxes and increase interest rates. So what do? We say the government doing bad, let's increase taxes on the people. They break the people's back and they cause you to have to shop less.
Yeah.
So what did just happen after that? All of a sudden, look at the shopping carts.
Yeah. You can't have 3 carts no more. You got no downsides the basket.
$260 can't even pull a trolley. That $260 cannot buy you a week's worth of groceries.
No, that's true.
Let alone all your other bills. They're not thinking for the Bain people.
No.
$260 can't buy your grocery. But they don't care. They have no plan for the future. There's going to be spiraling repercussions that's going to come out of this. And you're going to start to see it by summer next year, because it's really starting in January. You're going to start to see how everything is affected. Jobs are going to be lost. Because small businesses got to find people. I'm not paying you an extra. I got 4 staff. That's an extra $200 a month for each of them. But the government didn't do anything to reduce taxes. If you increase wages, you can reduce taxes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because now, if you increase wages, people are going to be able to buy more things in the food store. And so now you can reduce that. Because you're going to get the same revenue if you reduce it by that amount. But they ain't going to do that. And then that would stop the inflation, and that would stop everything that you see, everything that you're going to see about to happen. But these people have no vision.
True.
And so all of us are going to suffer because of it. They want to make more VAT money. They want to make more NIB money and all this kind of stuff. But it's going to slow down the economy so much, it's going to hurt in the long run.
So in Lehman represent a policy of state.
No. We are going to end that.
Yes.
The Coalition of Independence will end that. That will be gone. And so the way, I still didn't answer the question. The way to end all of this is we have to benefit from our natural resources.
Yes.
We have to.
There are no personal taxes in Dubai, in Qatar, in Kuwait, in Norway. There's no personal taxes. Their economy does not depend on taxes being done. They benefit from their natural resources. They give it to their people. Businesses are taxed, but not individuals.
But that was the plan in 2013. fact, for persons who were making over $100,000. And if it's supposed to go for 3 years, I was one of those who did supposed to be in that, and that's how come I know. Okay?
Yeah, that was the flim flam. They always said, see, they want to get, if they want to get a top policy in, they'll sneak it in. And they'll find a way that's palatable to bring it first. So they may say, oh, we're going to do it, but it's only going to affect the wealthy, or it's only going to affect this or that. And then later you'll see them adding to it. Like what they did with the VAT. They said, okay, we're going to start at 7.5%.
Yeah.
Then now you see it's up to 12%.
Back down to 10.
Next, if the coalition of independents did not exist, I guarantee you, VAT would have already been 15%.
Yeah.
That's a guarantee.
Yeah.
But because we are holding them to the fire, and they feel that anything they do negatively will impact us positively as an organization, that's why they got to be careful.
Right.
But if we are benefiting from our natural resources, taxes finish, man.
That's true.
You taxes for personal taxes are finished. Now you can tax my business to death. I'm making money, I don't care, tax it. But personally,
And they have their businesses.
Food for thought. Ms. Bain, you still have to hear. We have 3 questions that was put together for you by the public. You ready for this? These are no easy questions. These are no easy ones.
I still haven't told you what's in the stuff.
So the first question, Ms. B, have the first question. Ms. B, what the first question mean?
Okay, the first question is, you've been blocked from sitting in the House Assembly that day. How did that came about? Can you please explain that for the listening public?
Yeah, they were basically terrified. I should tell you this. Listen, I think you all know me by now. If I wanted to get in the house, I would have get in the house. All right? Point blank. They couldn't stop me from getting out there. But I wanted the Bahamian people to see how terrified they are. A lot of what I do so the people can see. When we pulled up, we saw a tent full of police officers. And what they did was hide the police officers at the back of the park. SWAT team, all these police, they were afraid of what was going to happen. They are terrified of us. European Monroe said, well, they was coming on the farm to see, so they had to bring the whole army with them because we was there. Now, I don't know why they're so afraid of me, but I do agree with them that they should be afraid of me. All right? And I think that they should be afraid of all of the Bain people.
Yes.
Because it's when they are not afraid that we have a problem. We have check the camera right there. That's when we have a problem. All right. So I would say this. We will be going in that house.
Yes.
The stone that the building is there from their corner. And the fact that they rejected us from that house was prophetic.
Yes.
All right. And so I believe that we will be in that house. Yes. Yes.
Number 2.
Okay, so Mr. Bain, the people wants to know what makes you the right person to lead our country, the Great Bahamas. And part 2 of that question is remind us of who you are and your vision in and for the takeover of our government.
Okay, that's 5 questions in one. What makes me the right person? First and foremost, I'm a Bahamian.
Yes.
I'm a real Bahamian, and I love this Bahamas. So more than anything else, I want to see Bahamians succeed, and that's what makes me the right person. If you want to get more technical, I am more educated than most of the prime ministers that we've had. All right, Ingram had a high school education. Ingram had a high school education. Philip Grave Davis only has a high school education. A lot of people don't realize that. He's only done high school. And so, well, Finland did law, which I also did, and Minnis did his doctorate degree, right? But in terms of the range of things that I've studied computer science and business, and it gives me a wide range. It gives me the business knowledge that I need in this new world.
Right.
Computer science gives me the computer knowledge I need because we're going into a different kind of world.
Technological world.
We're going into a tech world. And so it gives me the experience that I need. I also studied law, okay, which I love studying. And I did it just to study. I didn't necessarily do it for, to practice law. I did it because I wanted the information.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I also studied at a master's level theology, all right? Okay. And that's where I get a lot of my belief from. And I stopped there. I was going to do a doctorate in that, but I decided to stop at that. And so from an education level, that's fine. What I have that no other prime minister has had real life experience.
Right.
Finland never really did anything. He never had a business. He never had any life. He didn't really study law. Practice law before he ran. He was just all politics. And so he didn't have much life experience. I don't think any of them, well, I can say none of them have run a business. Not one. None of them has even had the chance to fail at business to get any experience.
Right. Wow.
They don't know about having to make payroll other than for their law office or whatever. All right. But in terms of business and what our entrepreneurs and our business people are going through, they've never done it. And that's why they don't have a focus on business and causing us to have a mindset to go into business because they don't know. And they're running the country, they're making the decisions. So I have a lot of experience in that. And I loved it. I voluntarily retired when I was 30. I didn't want to do business all my life. I went into business because I wanted to travel the world singing and speaking. I can't do a job if I do that. And so I went into business and then business just took off. God was very good to me and I did extremely well. And so by the time I was 30, I was like, you know what? Giving this up, let me just chill and enjoy myself. But then I got bored. I can't do nothing. All right. And then I went into some other stuff. What qualifies me is that not only have I done business, I've done business around the world.
Yes.
I know what it is to do business in China. So when China was on the rise, I was there. I was rising with China. China helped me to rise. And I watched China go where they're going. I did business in other parts of the Caribbean, Barbados, etc. Stuff that they read about Google, I've done. I know, I have experience. I know Jamaica, I know Barbados. I know all of these countries that we will be working with. I know Haiti, first time. I know the United States and Canada, and I'm talking about from a business level. Not going to these places to vacation. Okay? I know Israel. So I've done a lot. I have a lot of experience. And that's why when I speak fluently because this is life for me.
Right.
This isn't something that I have to go and read and study. You ask me any question about any area in the world right now, and I can tell you from life experience what I know. And so that's the difference. That's why I don't have to hide. I don't need a teleprompter. All of this is life for me.
Right.
And what I haven't learned from experience, I study. All right. You see the books that I had yesterday. That's Das Capital. That tells you how the communist countries think. That's where they get their Karl Marx. That's where they get their thinking from. The Wealth of Nations. That's where capitalism comes from. And so you have to put these things into play. The problem with our leaders is let me be politically correct. They are field Negroes acting as house Negroes.
Wow.
And when they took over the house, they destroyed the house. And they don't know what to do. And all they can think of is because they're in the house now, well, we need Master to come in. We need someone look like Master to come in to do anything we need to do. Because we don't know what to do. All we know is cotton picking. So we need a white fix to come and tell us what to do. And that's the mentality of Philip Brave Davis, Perry Christie, Hubert Ingram, all these people. oh, we need Master to come. Master, you open the hotel. We can't open the hotel. Master, just let us work in the hotel. We want back in the plantation. In the New Bahamas, we will own the plantation.
Yes.
Like the slaves in the Cameron plantation that took over the plantation from their master and became wealthy. They're still some of the wealthiest people in America. They were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to transform this country.
Yes.
And so, what qualifies me? I'm a Bahamian, and I love this place, and I love my people. What qualifies me is because I could have chosen to live anywhere in the world, but I chose to stay here
Yes.
and fight. I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
My children ain't here.
Mm-hmm.
I had not business ready, house ready, car ready, everything ready. I was gone. But I'm here because I love this country.
Yes. Oh.
Just three questions. Now, this one, this final question. Just again, easy question. We want the truth. We want to see the raw side. We want that truth feeling. Did you get that?
You want to send the president to get ghetto?
Well, you get that one. But let's be on the final question.
They've been asking today,
Mhm.
why did you choose to respond to Prime Minister Davis's speech last evening?
Question when we get raw.
Yeah, fear.
Listening to his speech, I ran through a gamut of emotions, but most of them were negative emotions. I was so angry to hear the things that they're insulting us with.
Yes. Yes.
They know that this is a new generation of Bahamians.
Mm-hmm.
They know that. So if you know that we are a new generation of Bahamians, why are you still coming to us with this nonsense? I don't know. It's like you really think that we are nothing. To still come with the same nonsense. Okay, when you started a year ago, you came and told us what you was going to do. You didn't do it. And the ideas they now coming with, instead of coming with the things that was in their blueprint or whatever they call it, all they talking about is things that they hear COI saying.
Yeah.
None of which was in their blueprint.
That's true.
So it's like, oh, we never have a plan anyway. We just did a blueprint just to say we did a blueprint. And we don't have a plan, so let's just do whatever the COI is saying because everyone's listening to them. And so to counteract the COI, we have to try to put some stuff in place that they're talking about so people will be satisfied. Because this is what the people want. The people want what COI is saying. But we can't actually let them benefit. So we can talk about carbon credits, but we can't let them benefit. And so this was offending me. It offended me to hear you talk about carbon credits, but we're not going to benefit. It offended me to hear you talking about cryptocurrency, and we can't even participate.
That's the truth.
That offended me. It offended me to hear them talking about these investors who was going to take our crown land, take everything we have, and then give us jobs. And he's bragging about that. $1 billion worth of investment. You know how much crown land that is? Now the law say crown land is supposed to be for the benefit of the Indians.
And not so.
And that's why, in order to circumvent that law, they always say how much jobs it's going to provide to say that jobs benefit us. No. Jobs don't benefit us.
Makes us broke.
In law, business law, they have something called a beneficial owner. That's who benefit. You benefit when you're an owner. You don't benefit when you're a worker. You are a slave. You are a little different than the chicken that bamboos. You are a commodity. You are like the mop that they mop the floor with in bamboo shop.
That's low. Wow.
You are not a beneficiary. You're the cash register in the shop. You are the clothing rack in the shop. This is capitalism. I can open that book and show you that. When you are a worker, you are nothing. And so to have these evil men still promoting slavery in 2022, it offends me.
Yeah, that's an insult. It's an insult.
Atlantis came here and they gave them everything. They gave them something they didn't ask for. I was working over there at the time. And I saw Saul Kirshner in action. I was there sometimes, they had their little meetings. And I saw how they worshiped him. Whatever he says, he run this down. Saul Kirshner came out of a meeting and said, listen, I want the road on Bain Street, switch direction. You all know Bain Street used to go west.
I remember, yeah.
Saul Kirshner said, I want the road pointing towards my hotel. It'll make me feel good. I want the road, I want Bay Street pointing towards me. I want everything flowing towards me. It's symbolic.
So sad.
So done.
Wow.
And they gave him that. They gave him Crown Land on Paradise Island. People didn't even know Crown Land was up there. Crown Land's still there, we can go take.
Don't let them know that.
They gave him Crown Land, they gave him 5 of our banks, took our monies out of the bank, because that's what banks do with your savings. They take it and invest it. They took our money out of the bank and gave it to Saul Kirshner. Gave him our land. He was not a foreign investor. That's our money.
$1,000 for that.
You understand? So when I keep hearing and seeing these things, it offends me. When Saul Kirshner, the same Saul Kirshner went to Dubai, they ain't give him nothing. You ain't getting our land, you buy that. You're not getting money from our people. Our people are going to invest in this and they're going to be owners.
Yes. Yes.
The people of Dubai own 50% of Atlantis in Dubai. And he said, deal. Love it. Where were our negotiators? Ingram said, listen, take everything. But when he said deal, they said, no, we're not finished. They said, we want half of everything you got, or a piece of everything you got around the world. We want a piece of Sun City in South Africa. We want a piece of Atlantis in the Bahamas. And that thing you're looking at in Las Vegas, we want a piece of that too. Not for the government, for the people of Dubai.
Wow.
Now that's how you empower your people.
So let me tell you what happened. The people of Dubai own a piece of Atlantis and we own that.
Powerful.
It was 2 different Atlantis.
No. Government leaders.
And so as I sit down with my international mindset, because see, what makes me think differently is because I've experienced so much things from around the world. And there's nothing like you experience how different people do things, you can't accept it.
That's the truth.
And I've experienced from around the world. And when they come up to the Bahamas, it's like, how could I be in law school in London? And I buy a car. I bought a nice Jaguar over there. Loved it. And I was worried about how I was going to have to go stand in this line, millions of people there, get this thing licensed inspected, whatever. The car dealership fella said, it's no lie. You go home, you go on the internet, or you go on the phone, you call them, they will send your thing in the mail in a few days. They would send you a license in the mail. I was like, what? That's possible. How do they know it's me? If it's not you, you will go to jail. They will send your documents in the mail. I said, okay, but how am I going to inspect it? It's a process called MOT. And you go to any licensed mechanic, and they will inspect your vehicle. Proper inspection. Proper inspection. Not turn your blinkers on, turn your blinkers off. Turn your light on, turn it off. Your light could go by the minute you drive off. What is the point of that? You don't know when your light is going to go. And if it's a light, it's a simple problem. You tell me I can't license my car because a light bulb?
Yeah. Back one too.
This is so stupid.
The back one also.
The minute I drive off, the light is blue.
That's it.
And I don't have to get it done, what, for a year? And that's why I run into police in the night? This is ridiculous. Now, with the MOT in England, they put your car up, they inspect it, they could tell you when your belts are going to go, they could tell you when it's going to go next. You got to do a proper inspection of your car.
Interesting.
A real inspection to tell your car is roadworthy or not.
Yes.
They say, okay, the salt in the road been corroding your car, so you need to do this, you do that, and that's in your inspection. So at no point did he say, turn your blinkers on, turn your blinkers on.
Press the brakes.
It's retarded. And so when you experience these kinds of things and come back here where nothing works,
Come on. Woo! That's hurtful.
The potholes in the.
Listen.
This is when you and your car broke up.
Oh.
so that's how I felt watching that. I'm like, there's no future in this. And I started to see, I know there are political trolls like praise them, oh, hallelujah, oh, thank God. Oh,
They have to do their job.
and I'm like, if we don't fight,
Hmm.
you see, you know what you came to this earth to change based on what makes you angry.
That's the truth.
And seeing their speeches makes me angry. Seeing
Yes.
them oppress the Indian people
Yes.
makes me angry.
Yes.
It's like Moses. What made him angry,
Mhm.
he was sent here to change.
Mhm.
He was sent here to fight it.
Mhm.
And so when he saw a slave, an Israelite, being beaten and abused, that made him so angry that he could kill.
And he did.
That's because it was his purpose to go and free those slaves. And so when I see Bahamians oppressed, it makes me angry and I have to fight. I can't
Yes.
turn away
Yes.
because I believe it is my purpose to come and free the Bahamian people and take us into the next Bahamas. That's what drives me.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's
Jesus went in the temple because he came to break that temple system.
Mm-hmm.
And it made him angry seeing what he saw.
Mhm.
And it called sweet Jesus who say, turn the other cheek and be meek and mild. It made him angry because that is his purpose,
Yeah.
to break that system.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you sad? You were saying that change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why even though Jesus knew he was going to raise Lazarus from the dead, he came to him and said Lazarus was dead, he wept. Shortest verse in the Bible, so people don't understand why he wept. That don't even make sense. It was his intention to go there and raise him from the dead. But because that is what drives him,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he came here to change. He came here to fight death. It made him weep.
Something in.
And so I know I'm not the only Bahamian who is angry right now. I know I'm not the only Bahamian who is sad right now. And so when I sit down and watch these people who are raping and robbing the Bahamian people and listening to them and hearing them, it makes me angry and it makes me sad. And nothing makes me more happier than being able to educate the Bahamian people and to fight for them. That gives me life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how sick, how tired, whatever I am. When I can get out there and start educating the Bain people or fight for them, I become invincible.
Mhm.
And that's what drives me. So that's the range of emotions that I was going through as I was watching that nonsense
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes.
Mr. Pinto, before we let you go, we have an online question because you kind of touched on it when you were talking about Dubai and Atlantis. So we have something like that now with our carbon credits where, what is it, where we have allowed foreign company to get, I think it was 51%.
Mhm.
So the foreign company got the bigger share than us. I mean, it didn't really get jack squat. But they gave the company 51% of the shares in this carbon credits. Again, you claim to say they listening to you and they trying to copy you, but they ain't doing it right. So explain to me like what's wrong with the scenario here?
What's wrong with the scenario is that we have the wrong government in power. We have what's wrong is the same thing that's wrong with every area of our society: corruption.
Mhm.
It has to be corruption. If we can trade carbon credits for free, we can use the platform for free and trade our carbon credits. Why are you paying someone 51%?
Mm.
In that industry, even if you have a manager, they will never be entitled to more than 1, or maybe if they're really good, 2%. I don't care who they are. Other countries are doing this. Norway is doing this. Other countries are deep in this. Even African nations are doing this. But I want you to understand that that 51% ain't going to that company. That's the problem.
Mhm.
That's under the table money.
Mhm.
And I'll say here, and if I lie, lock me up. That's under the table money. You see, these fellas can form companies all over the world,
Yes.
make deals all over the world. So y'all ain't gonna see when that money go to that foreign company. Y'all ain't gonna see when they flip it to brave them foreign company in Delaware or their foreign company in Malta. Y'all ain't gonna see it, and they can make denials.
Mhm.
51% is robbery. And on top of that, they're going into the volunteer market. What is the volunteer market? The volunteer market is you making a trip to Hawaii. You feel like the carbon you're going to put into the atmosphere because of that, you feel guilty. You want to pay for the carbon based on the miles you're going to be traveling. So you pay, okay, I'll pay different from my ticket. I'm going to pay $50, $70 for the carbon I'm putting into the atmosphere. That's a voluntary market. You do that if you want to.
Mhm.
That market is not regulated. Because that's just you saying you're going on our website and you're just gonna, hey, I'm paying for my carbon. That's not the mandatory market that the other countries in the world are participating in, where it's regulated. You can see what's going on. I need charge for this, where I can see what's going on. Of course, because Brave them behave like criminals, they don't want to be in that mandatory market. Because that's going to cause them not to be accountable.
Yeah. Right. Exposed.
We'll be able to go and see exactly what they're doing.
Where money is going.
All right? So they ain't gonna be in that much. And I can guarantee you, they ain't want nothing to do with that. So, all right, so I will tell you this. We are going into carbon credits. I don't care what deal they make. We are going to break their deals. It is criminal. We will investigate to find out exactly what they have done. All their conversations. You can't hide nothing with digital. You can't erase it. We will track them down. And we will tell them that we are refusing to honor any crooked deals, any deal that doesn't benefit us. On the good side, they're going in the voluntary market. They could do that. We're going to go in the mandatory market. Mandatory. So they're going to go knock themselves out. with their corruption. And I tell whoever the company is, I tell you now, if you participate in any corruption with crooked grave them, when we come to power, you and them in Fox Hill.
Probably need to explain what is Fox Hill.
They'll find out. They can know perfectly well what is Fox Hill in a minute.
I like to talk about reversing agreements because a lot of Bahamians don't understand that these audience deals that they make, that they can be reversed if it's found that it's not in the best interest of Bahamians. You can reverse them. So I'm glad you elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, any odious deal that's not in the benefit of the country can be reversed. We're not tied to anything that any corruption that these people do. So I want you to understand that we always know God has blessed me with the ability to understand. And I sought understanding more than I sought anything else. So just like when the people in Abaco, in Hopetown called and said, this corruption has gone down, but they got their license from the government in Nassau, and there's nothing we could do. I went down there, there's always something you can do. I went down there, showed them the law, and said, this is what you will do. And they was able to take their license, just like that. There's always something you can do. All right? So they can do as much corruption as they want. They can think they're going to celebrate. Let me tell you something. Whenever election is, once they say COI win, you'll close them airport. Nobody in?
Nobody out.
Nobody out. And if somehow they realize they're losing and they escape, we will interpose.
We gonna get you.
Them.
That's what China does.
Oh, trust me, I got officers on our side ready.
Yep.
You gotta worry about that. The police officers who support what we are doing. And we will track them down. We will go for them wherever they hide. Wherever they think their money is, that's our money. We going for that. That was some crooked deals.
We didn't need it.
We are going to bring, just like how 13 Gig brought us in, we're going to bring in the FBI. The FBI is going to help us investigate. Okay, just like how the DEA works with the DU, the FBI is going to help us investigate. And we're going to find out what they did. The truth is, we are no most of what they did. We got to talking certain things here. But they're going to come in, assist us with investigation, especially for all these illegal passports, illegal and all that. There will be forensic audits. We are going to do this. We're going to clean this place up.
Yes.
We can do what Trump said. We can drain the swamp.
Guys, not only do we have a special guest, we have studio audience, and they have a question about immigration from Mr. Bain. So I think one of the questions that they wanted to know is about the roundup in Abaco. So studio audience, you guys have your question?
Yes, the
You have to come on camera. Let's stay right there, Doc.
The shanty towns in Abaco, they have been growing progressively. And according to Minister Keith Bell, he was saying that we don't have an immigration crisis. And there are also Bahamians stating that the shanty towns, not only are they growing, but they are harboring more illegal immigrants that are coming into Abaco, and documentation is being given to these people. So my question is, if Mr. Bell sees it as, if he doesn't see it as a crisis, where does that leave the residents, the Bahamian residents in Abaco, whereas owning and possessing the land stands, and how are they going to move forward with being the dominant on that island? Because immigration right now, they're saying that they're doing something, They're saying that they're making arrests, deportations, but then the problem is still festering. So how do you propose we move forward?
That was like 16 questions.
My apologies.
I'll pick one. All right. You talk about the situation that's happening. The immigration roundup in Africa right now is a sham. All of you remember that I said a couple of weeks ago that they were going to do it. If I know, you think the illegal immigrants there didn't know? You think the corrupt people there didn't know? If I know, I'm not a friend of the government. They see me as public enemy number one. If I knew, you think they didn't know?
Remember your sent.
I announced it. I announced it. When we went to Russell Square, I told you that they're going to do a sham roundup and they are going to pretend like they're locking up people. And that's exactly what they did. I always expose what they're going to do, and they still do it. Like, or Lincoln just expose us. What you can do? Just do it.
Lock him out.
And I told you they're going to do some sham roundups. All right? Now, in Abaco, the legal immigrants know what I'm about to say. There are some people who, if you don't pay your dues, you get yielded. You could be a part of the roundups. If you pay your dues, they ain't got you. So right now, I believe that they are rounding up the people who didn't pay their dues. Some of them.
20 plus.
All right? And so them celebrating about locking, they got thousands of them in Abaco right now. They're celebrating, oh, we locked up 23 of them today. And they throwing money. They throwing, you lock up 20 something out of the thousands that are there.
Something wrong.
You throw in party, you are locking up the people who didn't pay their dues, and they're doing this, they're only doing this, and this information I got, and that's why I announced it ahead of time. They are doing this because they feel that we are gaining ground on this immigration conversation. And they did it to soften the blow to say, see, we're doing something about it. And that's why the Prime Minister saw it necessary to come out yesterday and say, I did not sign in California. Let me reiterate. No, he doesn't speak that well. Let me reiterate. I can't even brother like him. Let me reiterate. He said he did not become a signatory. Right? Because he feels that we hit him so hard with that to certain their reputation. All right? Now, the thing about it is, that's coming from the same Brave David who said that Bounty was insured. You can't believe nothing Brave David is saying. We didn't prove that over and over. But on top of that, the exercise was not a treaty. It was a symbolic gesture. So even those who signed it was not binding. It was not about whether you signed or not. It was about the fact that you came here and started implementing those things.
Yes.
And those countries were rewarded. I think it was $1 billion.
Together, yeah, together.
Together, it was $1 billion. And that's what the trolls were celebrating. How Biden is about to give us $1 billion and this and that. Because
well, that was something different. That was the climate change thing that they're doing some money for.
And it was connected to the immigration thing as well. If you read the article, it was those countries who participated in that summit was going to get this money.
Yeah, so people there's a summit, but the recent thing they were celebrating, you're right. In the summit, there was money they were putting aside for persons who would accept the illegal immigrants. All right, but it wasn't just about accepting the illegal immigrants. It was other policy and policy changes that they wanted. So yeah, Brave Davis might have told them, listen, I can't tell my people I did this and that. And so politically, he had to act in a certain way. My thing to Philip Brave Davis is, if you didn't sign it, why were you on that stage? Like no one else who didn't sign it was on that stage. Are you saying that you was having another senior moment like you had with Richard when you rubbed the king down? No one in his entourage could tell him it's against the law to peel up the king. That is especially a threat when you come from the queerest party in the history of the world.
Oh, Lord.
Keep your hands off the king. So the same way he had that senior moment, he just started posing for pictures when the king tell him to come sit down. He is now saying that he had another senior moment and he went on the stage with the people who signed. I heard him talking, but these are the people who signed on. And he just stand there and smile. Listen, listen. Brave don't really smile. He's not a smiler, right? But the time you will see Brave teeth is whenever he's around white people. Whenever he's around them, he smiles from head to hair. He knows and I love you more. So Brave Davis is saying that I didn't sign. So why you was on the stage with the people who signed and you don't agree with what they were signing to?
No,
Mexico was in there.
no, he missed the exit.
The state was invited for those who signed, and so he went.
So you saying we have a prime minister in a foreign country to speak English, we don't understand it.
No, we have a lying prime minister. A very lying, deceitful prime minister. The one who said, when Bamsi burned down, don't worry about it, Bamsi's insured.
No insurance.
No lapse.
We have a lying prime minister. And so the issue isn't whether you actually sign on that ceremonial agreement. Because none of them, even the ones who signed, is bound to it. The fact is, you came back home and you started changing what you call the illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Because that's what they decided there.
Right.
You started calling them irregular migrants. You started ignoring their presence in this Bahamas. You stopped repatriating them. I hear they talking some nonsense about they repatriated 2,800.
Or 23.
I want to see the manifest. If the manifest existed, I would have it. You know, I would have it.
From January 2022 to October 2022, 28, no, 2,800.
Oh, I thought
They then
23.
repatriate. No, they do 23.
23, 28, whatever it is. I don't think y'all repatriated any Haitians this year because y'all have always brought the news up. And when they said they repatriated the 130, I called our supporters at the airport and some of the fellows who work in there, working around the Bain, they said they had repatriations as Cubans. All right. And I also heard that I called the police officers. Yeah. And the police officers, we don't have no repatriation. And if you move 130 people to this airport, we would have known that. And they said they know nothing about it. Now, some of the Pakistanis said sometimes in the past when they had repatriations, the police might be just immigration, etc. All right, but the police would still know. That's the airport. They run the airport. So I don't believe them. One thing you know about this government is you can't trust them. This PLP government, you can't trust them. So So Abaco, what they're doing in Abaco is a sham. Okay, it's a blind sham because of politics, and so we can't fall for that. We need a real government that's going to come in power and protect our land. It's simple as that. The solution to all of our problems is simple. Remove the PLP and the FNM.
Yes.
Listen, I don't want anyone to think that we hate or that we are against Haitian people and that kind of stuff.
No.
We are going to need the Haitians, the Chinese, the Filipinos, all these people, they help us to build a new Bahamas. We need people to work for us. We want you to come the right way. We don't want you to just come and take our land. We want you to come and work for us. Come rent our land.
Mm-hmm.
Do it the right way. I don't want the children of Haitian immigrants living the way they are living.
True.
There's no reason they should be living the way they're living. That is a crime against humanity. And not one of their so-called humanitarians are speaking out against it. Not Fred Smith, who's a Haitian, not Louis Georges, who's a Haitian, not any of these people are speaking out about the conditions these children have to grow up in. Someone told me, I was degrading one of the young girls with asked a question about if she's ever had McDonald's. Right? I wasn't trying to degrade the young girl. I wanted people to see the conditions that they grew up in, that they don't have the same experience as other regular children. I want you to see that instead of playing with toys, etc., being able to live a normal life, she's making mud pies. I wanted you to see that these children don't deserve that.
True.
Because I lived in Haiti for 2 years, and I know that in Haiti, they live in apartments. They live in houses. They come here for a better life and they have a worse life. So the adult made that decision. If that's how you want to live, then okay. But that child needs internet to go to school. They need internet to do their homework. You have them living in a wooden box with no electricity, no internet, no plumbing. You don't care about them. They will be here in the New Bahamas, but they will not be living in shantytown.
Sure.
That's the difference in the mindset.
Yes.
Qatar and Dubai don't have an immigration problem. They are outnumbered. More than 90% of the population of Dubai is foreign. 88% of the population of the United Arab Emirates is foreign. And the same thing for Qatar. They don't have an immigration problem. But the immigrants, you come there and you're going to live in an apartment, in a house. And I want the Haitian people to be able to open a bank account. Why you have money under the mattress? You got a dig hole in the back of the yard because they keep robbing you. You can't have a driver's license. You got to wait for a truck to pick you up to go to work. Come on, man. They're hating on us and making it seem like we hate the Haitian people. But no, it's only us who care about their situation. No, we don't want you to come here illegally, land in our country, and then breed children who feel left out of society. They feel that the only thing they can do is become a criminal. We are creating this, and we have to change this. Because the children shouldn't have to go through that.
That's the truth.
And it's the same corruption that has destroyed Haiti that is now coming to the Bahamas to destroy the Bahamas. Paying off this one and paying off that one. The government and sell out. Not a day like it. Not a day like it. You all are going to come out of our house.
Get out.
Amen.
You all are going to come out of our house of assembly.
Get out.
Because you all have sold out. You all have destroyed this nation. And we coming to fix this for everybody. The Americans are tired of coming in having to pay bribes to everybody. We need a clean country, man. We have so much potential, but all you all could do is sit down and take bribes and stifle everything. Be sick of this. We need a country that works. And we're going to fix this. And the Americans might be afraid of us now, not having to deal with the unknown and not knowing how we're going to be, but they can love us in the end.
That's true.
Because when their companies come, they can partner with us. And no one asks them for no bribe. We can fix this country.
I don't see no other party with a comprehensive immigration plan, like the COI's plan for immigration. It's like their only plan for immigration is repatriation. That is not a real plan. We need a real plan that would work and that would benefit us as well as be fair to the Haitian population.
Someone asked on social media just now why we have to keep saying that we don't hate Haitians. We have to keep saying that is because that is the false narrative that they are putting out there.
Yes.
Because a lot of Haitians don't speak English, so they only know what we,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll take sound bites of us saying how we're going to defend our country and saying how we're going to fix this and saying how we're going to protect our borders, and then they tell them, oh, they hate you. Don't go for them. Vote PLP. But listen, I don't want you to think that I'm looking for friends. I don't need Haitians to love me, I'm a Bahamian. We're not doing any of this for anyone else. We're defending our nation.
Our nation.
So if the Haitian people don't want to vote for me, they're going to vote.
Most of them have illegal documents. When is time right to shut this down, knowing what we know?
No.
Let me tell you how we're going to deal with this, all right? As long as the government is in power, there's only two ways to deal with this. You hit the streets and you get them out. All right? Will they do that? We don't know. Bahamians aren't the type to stand up. Bahamians are afraid of victimization. Bahamians ain't gonna take a day off from work, they need that money. They only make it 210. You telling them to take one of them days and come out there on Bay Street with you. It's sad, but that's the situation the politicians put us in order to keep us under control. So the first way is to go out there and stand up and fight, and we give them an opportunity, or you just get them out of the house. You have to rally the troops and deal with it the way the Bahamians deal with it. The Bahamians fight at the polls in secret. That's the other way. Bahamians ain't coming in your face and fight you head on. We get behind your back, and we can take that pen and we can take that back right up. Yeah.
What's the UI?
That's how Bahamians respond. And so we have to determine our strategy. Do you keep calling them to the streets? We know that in their culture. Or do you organize, strategize, build a serious machinery, and you go to the polls and you destroy them? You have to make your choice. But we can fix all of this by going to the polls and getting rid of them, continuing to expose what's going on. No one has ever done this before. I've never felt we would never expose each other.
No.
No one ever tried to educate the Bahamian people before. They want you to stay poor. And so we have to fight and do what we have to do. It's simple as that.
So there you have it, folks. We have had a lot of food for thought tonight. This has been more than educational. This has been more than informative. And this has been Mr. Bain. I don't know what else to say, but this has been Mr. Bain.
I just want to make a sign of no. Pintar ain't taking my calls.
Oh,
You see, yeah, in a dungeon, look like
Pintar is not taking my calls. Someone even went to him and gave him my number.
wow.
And said, call Lincoln. And he said he's coming to Nassau today. And he said he'll come back. Pintar didn't call me.
one more question from a studio audience.
Lincoln, maybe Mr. Pintard would have called you or give you that attention if he was on the cameras.
Maybe if there was a mob of people fighting for their rights and you were there, you would have come out on camera and said, hey, Lincoln, how can I help? And shook your hand for the cameras.
Yes.
Pintard and everyone else like himself, I didn't want to call these persons' name to give them a platform on our stage. But a lot of these politicians and want to be politicians who want to represent our people, they are only doing these things for show.
Yeah.
As long as they're not in the trenches fighting with the Bahamian people, putting themselves on the line. And sometimes you have to put your family life on the line when you're fighting for a nation. As long as they are not putting themselves on the line for the people, we do not want to hear from them. Everything that they are doing is for show.
Yes.
Look at who the establishment is giving a platform to. I don't want to call the names. They're giving a platform to phonies. These people are not standing up fighting for the Bahamian people. All they are doing is delivering lip service. And we're done with that. 50 years and we're done with that. We don't want to hear from them anymore. We want to see action.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all.
And that's all.
Yes.
And Mr. Pintard, coming from a young person, you disappointed me and my entire generation.
Yes.
And you need to have 100 seats. Thank you for taking my statement.
But as you can see, the Bain Republic are not interested in Pintard and anything he has to say.
No.
They're getting no traction. No one is listening to them because they have no right to speak on anything right now. You know, I heard Pintard respond. Someone told me he went live while, I was live last night. All right. And so he had, 25 people, paying attention. And
Okay.
3 of them phones on their face. You saw 13? Okay. Probably got it. 13. Okay, so he had a full 13 people out there watching him. But he was talking and saying nothing. Nothing. And it's because he doesn't have the credibility to say anything. He was a part of the destruction of this country.
Yes.
Over the last several years. I heard him talking about agriculture at a press conference they had this morning. Oh, that's maybe where they had the 25. Right? At a press conference this morning, talking about agriculture. He was the minister of agriculture and did nothing for agriculture. In fact, agriculture is in charge of the policy dog. They had a fire on policy dog. Block those people from being able to go back on the dog.
Wow.
Because Brent Simon and them want to take over the whole dog. He blocked them. We came there to fight for them. They called and we came there to help them, the COI did. And they called and told the police to not let us help those people. They thought he's coming there to rebuild and all of. He's coming to clean up and help them. And the police came to me and said, Lincoln, you wouldn't believe that Pintard Permanent Secretary, whoever it was, called and said, don't let y'all help these people. You think I just come to tell you, and I gone. I told them to come deal with it themselves. And then they sent the senior officer from Central Station instead of Quality Dog to come down there and deal with it. And then they said, Lincoln, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. We support you. Help these people, yeah?
Common sense.
This is what politicians do to us. And this is why we fight. Those stalls are still not built back.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
We gotta fight. We gotta fight. We gotta fight.
This is where they have to just stop smiling in their faces all the time and wanting to, have them come in front of you. And every time they would come in front of you, there's a camera. You know, I really want a camera to be pushed in my face with any one of them. I pray for that.
The image in this country are hurting so bad.
Yes.
You know, every week we take the time to give out, you know, help people and assist people. We don't put it on social media. So I don't think we should degrade people like that.
No, people are hurting.
Groceries, we give people money, we help people, you know. There was a young man on social media this week, and he was saying he had to eat for 4 days and he was ready to commit suicide. So I told him, just so I'll come to you tomorrow and I'll bring you some food. And I went to him, I didn't bring the food, but I just took him money for him and for someone else who was in the house, you know, and he was like, it touched him because people started to like ridicule him.
Right.
They don't understand.
Two people in the house. One was working for a prominent company, and the boss didn't, you know, like him, wanted to abuse him, and the boss fired him. He got blacklisted.
Wow.
They didn't even get blacklisted in this country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He got blacklisted. Starving, hungry, hurting. He tried to get jobs, and they realized it's him. Listen, that's what you got there. Carry them. People are going through that in this country.
Mm-hmm.
The other fellow, he's also been trying, and he got ridiculed. Ridiculed because he was saying, I just don't have it. Oh, plenty job out there, plenty job out there, plenty job. I'm trying.
They don't give them the opportunity.
I'm trying. And so, no long talk, I said, bro, I'm coming, I'm going to help you. And that's what I did. We're going to be, probably by this weekend, I know we have a member of our organization of single, so I'm going to see what time that's happening. But we just selected an older person in the community, and we're going to go there and paint a house. I already bought the paint. And so we need some volunteers to go there, you know, with us and help paint our house. Listen, y'all don't mess up people's house. We need volunteers to come. I'm going to announce it on Facebook the day we're going to be doing it. I just have to find out about the criminal this weekend, or we may have to do it a different day. Or maybe we might take Sunday and do it. Because some of y'all ain't saved. Y'all don't go to church anyway.
11 a.m. Saturday.
It's 11 a.m. I'll be all day. No.
10 o'clock.
So you could go there. I think it'll be safe to go there at 2 o'clock. 3? Yeah, because I'm gonna be at the Hampton turn up. At 3 o'clock, we're gonna go to an elderly couple too that who not well. The house has been painted in a long time, and we're gonna go paint the house. I didn't buy the paint. We painted white and supplements. I don't know what the supplement is. I didn't buy the white. So I wanted the old lady. I wanted the old lady to tell me what the other color is. She might say black. I don't know. It was white and red before.
White and black.
Yeah, but she ain't no helping them no more. There you go. No, I don't know. I don't know who she is. There's just someone who needs help, and we're gonna continue to do stuff like this. But I've already bought the paint and stuff. So if you'd like to assist, please let us know, and we're gonna be there. So I'm gonna put it in our WhatsApp groups so that we could get organized. Let us wait for Christmas. We'll get back up on those people and see if we could get them straight to Christmas. Christmas 2 months away. We're gonna get them. It's on?
It's on.
Yes, good, we're good. All right, someone on social media asks, I think it's, yeah, it sounds back up. Someone on social media asks if we can still demolish that shantytown is built on a woman's property. Yes, we are. All right. The woman had a medical emergency, a family emergency, and so she was in the US dealing with something. We cannot do anything without her here. And so once she is back, we're going to do what we have to do. All right. So that's what it is. So we are ready. The documents are ready, ready, and it says final notice. This land is Crown land that was issued to me, Justina Curry. This serves as final. Sorry, this serves as official and final notice that all persons occupying this land must cease and desist and vacate within 30 days. At the expiration of 30 days, the demolition of shanty structures on this land will commence without further notice. Signed, Justina Curry. And so, yes, we tearing it down. It's our land. And no one is coming to take our land. No one is coming to disrespect Bahamians and an elderly lady who built this country. Cannot disrespect her and say the things that they said to her, laugh at her, demean her, and just take her land. Not in this country. Because let me tell you something. No Bahamian will be able to do that to Bahamian.
Amen.
So y'all ain't doing that here. And so when we go there, I'm going to invite y'all. We're going to go first. We're going to post notices on every one of them doors. And so we're going to invite our militia out, and we're going to invite our concerned Bahamians out. We're going to go there, and we're going to post on all of their doors. They're going to have their chance to move their stuff. And then we're going to come back with bulldozers, and we're going to remove all of those homes.
Yes.
What is this?
In our
And once those homes are demolished, don't come back.
So unlike them, we are going to come back after the short commercial break. And we just want to thank Mr. Bain for giving us some of his time tonight. When we do return, you're going to hear from the voice of some of our panelists tonight, and you'll see them in a few.
I don't know how you did this in 50 years. You look at history. Who does this? Show me anybody else that has done this in 50 years. I'm waiting. Show them to me. This wasn't done by money. Money doesn't produce visions. Visions produce money. You've had leadership over here that were visionaries, great visionaries, and their vision was more about the people than the money, because you can't accomplish this in 50 years without loving your people first, because the people are the ones that's benefiting from this. Look at your health care, look at your road system, look at your highway system, look at your airports. Who does this in 50 years? But who benefits? You're going to care about those people. It's something to be learned about what's been done over here that could be duplicated in the world, because there's people with this much money. You just don't have people with this much love for their people.
And we are back. It was a great episode tonight, guys. It was provocative and hot. You know, I don't expect nothing less from the crew from Talk That. And just before we sign off, y'all know I know y'all waiting to hear from Miss Patricia, but y'all gonna have to wait just 2 more minutes, right? So we're just gonna hear from some of my groups, and they're just gonna share just a little bit of what you might want to see. So.
Okay, Bahamians, I invite you all to be strong, stop being passive towards the ills, handed on to us from this government. You know, they need to stop, we need to stop actually politicalizing the, what we want to, how we choose these people because they only treat us in a low manner. I say to you, $260 per week, over $100,000 per year. You chose. You made the choice. Now we got to change that.
Amen. I just somebody is WhatsApp groups. Like they just is irk me. Like they just get underneath my toenails. I just want to let them know the Bahamian people are not fools anymore. And they are wise and they are awoken to the bullshit that's been going on in this country for almost 50 years. Now, y'all can come up against us and y'all to talk about our organization, hating Haitians and this and that, and we violent and we like to belittle people and this and that. Notice you have not seen that from us, but we've been seeing that from you. We have been seeing where you are attacking persons on social media for expressing themselves. Now we have become a nation where we stifle freedom of speech. You are no longer considered when you want to give your opinion or your feelings on certain matters. And that's what gets me upset. Because a lot of people are committing suicide because they don't have an outlet, because they have to keep in what it is that they feeling. And we are saying to you that no longer we are going to suffer in silence. Change is here and it ain't going nowhere. Well, my appeal is to the women of this country. You know, we have the heart and the air of the men. They say men rule the world, but no, women rule the world. And to the single women of this country as well, you have to, if you don't want better for yourself, want better for your children. If you don't want a future for yourself, want it for your children, it's time for us to stand up. We have to stop being afraid, stop being passive. We have to be the voice of the voiceless. Our children, they cannot vote. They cannot come into the media and speak their minds. We have to do it for them. So we continue to sit back and let this government rape and rob us. What is going to be left for our children? What future are we preparing for our children? I'm a mother, and nobody can tell me I'm not a good mother. I will do any and anything for my children. I would murder for my children. Okay. Anybody, I don't care who you is, if you come up against my children and you in the wrong, you can die, right? So why are we allowing this government to murder our children's future? Yes. Why are we doing it? It is time for the women of this country to rise up. Because once we rise up, the men behind us will rise up too. We have to do it. Amen. Amen.
My fear is just for everybody over here. You know, I don't know sign language, but I know you all know this sign language. Oh, yeah, and cuss.
Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he had known my name. My name, God's name. Okay? God has names. Whatever you're going through, guess what? You can call on him. If you need protection, if you need what I would call a warrior, call on Jehovah. He will fight for you. So it shows that we cannot live our lives without God. If you need, and I say this because I have been living this, literally I've been living this. Whatever need you have, Jehovah Jireh meets your need. Mr. Bain spoke about the gentleman. You know who opened that door? You know who made the way? Jehovah Jireh. He did. He made the way that he was able to be sustained. El Elyon. He's the Most High God. He will keep you in all your ways. He will also protect you. There is a footnote. Spectacles back on. There's a footnote that says, according to Psalms 91 and verse 14 in the footnote, and it reads, "This who know God's name are in covenant relationship with him. The Lord delivers, he protects, he answers, he honors, he satisfies, and reveals his salvation through his preservation, excuse me, and he blesses us. This is the God we would term as El Shaddai, Lord God Almighty. Whatever we are in need of, he provides. Because why? At the end of the day, he is Jehovah Shalom. He's our peace. So I say to you tonight, no matter what you're going through, call on the name of the Lord. Get to know who he is. Call on his name. When I need a shepherd, I know who to call. When I need to be revived, renewed, refreshed, let's talk about El Shaddai. It's the God that's more than enough. He's more than enough. And in all of what we're going through, I'm somewhere throughout the day, we call upon God for something in our lives. Guess what? He shows up, in a still small way, he shows up. But now we got to open our ears to hear him, to see him. I appreciate the things that Mr. Bain said about himself. You take that as being prideful. No, that's being confident in the purpose in which God has called you. So I want you all to be confident in the God of your salvation. Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt. Guess what they call that? Salvation. He was Jehovah Jireh. So let us remember tonight that God meets our needs and he answers our prayers. So let us never take it for granted. Every morning to say, Lord, thank you. And every night to say, I appreciate you. Because you made it throughout the day. That person did not do what they had intentions of doing. All because of the obedience of a man that God has placed his heart in. And I know for a fact that God has given you a heart for someone. So tomorrow, make it your intention to be by touching someone's life. Do it. This is God's character in our lives. We have that ability. And that ability is to help one another. That's why the Lord is the Lord now, our shepherd. Our heart to yours.
tonight. From us, you are all that. Good night, guys.
And it's Bahamians on for Bain to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers. To all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause this a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us. Kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. On this Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. Nigga, change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nagua, there's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.